Today, I'm going to tell you about 5 things you should think about if you're forming a team. Number 1, make sure your expectations and goals are clearly communicated to the team member that's trying to join your team. And make sure also that you completely understand this potential team member's goals and what their aspirations are. And then make sure that they align. So often, junior team members join a team for completely different reasons the senior member is hiring them for. So it's very, very clear to communicate clearly, be transparent, tell them what you expect, find out what they're expecting, what they think joining a team means before you go forward. Another big mistake that team leaders make is not understanding their role and the amount of training and mentorship that is required in being a team leader. You've got to love it. You got to want to give it away to make it work. You have to be willing to train, receive calls at all hours, and play manager as well as star team player. And that requires you to be available for your team members and to let them in on the inside and make sure they can see how to become great agents. They joined your team because of you. They want to learn from you. They want to know what you do, how you did it, how you got there, so that they can become like you. So training has to be organized. You have to think of yourself like a mentor. Make sure they do everything the way you would do it. Have checklists. Make sure that you train to checklists. Make sure that they follow your brand and your procedures precisely, because they're representing your brand. These junior team members, they can ruin your brand if they don't represent you properly. So make sure they understand what you're looking for. Another reason teams fail is because they don't have regular sales meetings, just like your office, just like your company does. Make sure you have regular sales meetings. Make sure you have an agenda. I would review all sales, review all clients, review escrows, review listings. Make sure that you go over all the current business, potential business, and then have some sort of training added to that. Something in addition. You can bring in outside people like legislature, people in the political world, anything that's valuable, interesting, and improves the knowledge of your team members. Sales meetings are key and important, and they're not optional. Make sure everyone shows up. Another reason that teams fail, and this is a big one, this is the most difficult one for team leaders I find, is they keep non-productive agents around for too long. You'll know right away if that agent's going to make it. If they show up, if they're there early, they stay late, they do what you tell them to do, they take direction, they follow direction, they complete tasks, they study the business, they study the craft, they know the inventory, and they're not just waiting for stuff to fall off the table. They're just not waiting for your crumbs to land in their lap. But they're actually out there pitching, prospecting, working, learning. You can tell if they're showing up and doing all those things, keep them. If they're not, let them go quickly, because they're not going to make it. This business is way too tough. And you don't need to be training and mentoring people that aren't serious. So make sure they understand you're only looking for serious agents. And this is another one that is really important, and that is having strong written agreements with your team members. So many teams are put together loosely. The agreements between the junior member and the team leader are not properly written. They don't consider all the possibilities around who finds the listing, where the leads come from, what the splits are on various types of leads in business, as well as a prenup. In the event you guys break up, how do you divide things after that? How long do these agreements stay in place? So all of this needs to be done. I recommend hiring an attorney. Also consult with your company, your brokerage. I'm sure they have a lot of team agreements in their possession that they could share with you. So make sure your team agreements are tight and foolproof, and make sure everybody has read them and they understand them before you sign up. Key and critical. And finally, for you team leaders, accountability. You have to hold your junior members accountable. And I know that's tough for you. Most of you are people pleasers. I'm a people pleaser. I hate conflict. But if they aren't showing up for the meetings, if they aren't showing up for their appointments, if you don't see them day in and day out working hard, call them out. Tell them if they want to stay on the team, they've got to show up. Accountability is key and critical. You have to be a strong leader if you want to have a strong team. And they have to respect you and know you mean business. So accountability is a key factor.